Hey y'all, so I got some feedback from the professor that had me thinking like I really have to edit these designs and just really nail down what this collection is. And he really wants me to look at what the difference is between fashion and costume, which is a comment I've gotten before. So he told me to remove any illustrations that were costume or um, or craft, and uh, so I'm gonna go through and do that. I've printed out all my illustrations real small, which will hopefully help me focus more on silhouettes. I also talked to my IRL advisor, my favorite person, Alita, and she and I talked more about how I could be incorporating um, these materials, the film that I have over here, and also the cassette tapes, how I could be incorporating them as fabrics, as like fully integrated fabrics more than just as trims. So I guess more experimentation to come. I really should have been pursuing that the whole time, I think. Um, I'm going to try like zigzagging the film onto another transparent fabric, or with just like strips of a transparent fabric in between the pieces of film for support, but we don't want to, it still has to be polished. So I don't know where we will land, but I think I need to be thinking more about that. Alita had me thinking how it could be sportswear, but not all of it has to be stretchy, or only certain parts have to be stretchy for it to be comfortable. And just had me rethinking what sportswear meant in an avant-garde situation, especially. So she was really helpful. She is my old friend. I've worked with her for a long time. These are all thoughts. So I'm going to cut these up into little pieces and go through and toss any ones that don't fit the bill. So I will see you on the other side. Electroluminescent wire is interesting, but I wonder, is it inherently costume? So associated with like festival wear. Costume wearable. But like, that skirt could all be made of film or something. that could be changed to film, that silhouette, although I guess that's already a silhouette that's pretty available. I guess the stretched material designs are interesting. I get really excited by the transparent designs that I did. Maybe I could bring that to more designs. I'm gonna keep that one in the pile. It's a wild card. I'll keep that one in. This is one that incorporates speakers into it. Hey, so I'm left with a chunk removed. But the professor also said to remove anything that was already available. So I am going to have to go through again. So let me know what you guys think about these being available already. So I have edited further, and now I'm really only left with like a chunk. But there's always going through and pulling back some of the other designs or pumping them up depending on why I excluded them, or cutting elements of those designs out and bringing them into other designs in unexpected ways. So the professor also recommended that I organize these into 3 to 5 proposed lineups of 6 to 8 looks each, and then I can start seeing what direction each of those collections would take me, and I might have just enough of the leftover designs to get to 3 collections. So we'll see what we figure out here. So I've ended up with these 3 proposed collections, and I'm pretty happy with them. I might move over to Photoshop to kind of redraw these, just because I've combined so many pieces. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about one of the collections. This was a really helpful process, so highly recommend. We ended up with the circle collection. It's kind of unified by circle elements repeated throughout, kind of inspired by, like, oops, the cassette tape shapes. And then we have the comfy collection, because I just feel like all these clothes look super comfortable, while being, I think, pretty fun. And I tried to integrate more elements of like entire panels and sections made out of the recycled materials. And then we have my favorite collection, which is the like rain collection. So all of these would be oriented towards rainwear. So they would all be made out of some of these potential fabrics, some really interesting latexes and vinyls, and yeah, I actually have one, what is this? Vinyl backed with athletic mesh, and this has some really interesting stretch to it, but I love the transparency of these, of like the frosted vinyls. So that's where we are at. Hey, so it's been a few days since I left you in that last scene, and I'm here in my editing hole. I am editing the video with Ice King here, and I have completely redrawn all of the illustrations that I cut up in the last video in Photoshop. And they're still in their rough form. I haven't made super polished illustrations yet, but they're now pretty cleaned up. So I was left with these 3 collections, which I sent off to my professor. There was a kind of rainwear collection. There was a comfy collection, and there was a collection that was unified by circles. And when I sent them off to my professor, he agreed that the rain collection was the most successful, but he still didn't like, he just didn't feel that the first look and the 5th look in that were as strong as the rest of them. So he recommended that I bring in one of the looks from 2nd collection and one of the looks from the 3rd collection, and kind of unify them into this collection. So I did that, and I was left with this. So this week I will be editing this collection and making sure that it's all up to snuff, that I have all the fabrics figured out for these 6 looks, and then I'll be producing 3 of them later on. So this editing process was awesome. It made me feel a lot better about the direction the collection was going in and everything. So thank you so much for watching this way too long video, and I will see you later.